Hello Cowboys Nation, welcome to another video, and without further ado, let's get to another round of news from America's team. Cowboys Pro Bowler drops crazy quote on playmaker's injury. The Dallas Cowboys are still celebrating the team's comeback win versus the Pittsburgh Steelers in Week 5, but wide receiver Jalen Tolbert's game-winning touchdown nearly did not happen. Tolbert sustained what appeared to be a hit in the groin area on the previous play and looked like he was going to be sidelined. Dallas called a timeout, which allowed Tolbert to catch his breath enough to remain in the game. Cowboys Pro Bowl offensive lineman Tyler Smith dropped a hilarious quote about Tolbert's injury. "Bro, it was miraculous. JT, Tolbert, literally sprained his, nuts, excuse me, sorry guys, sprained his nuts the play before," Smith told reporters on October 7th. "Comes back, makes the game winner. Unbelievable. Extend the play, there's guys playing above the 2.3. Dudes emptying the clip. It was great stuff. Jalen Tolbert on late-game injury versus Steelers, I couldn't breathe for a second." Tolbert has emerged as a key part of the Cowboys' offense and will likely remain heavily involved with Brandon Cooks sidelined. The playmaker posted a career-high 7 receptions for 87 yards and a touchdown against the Steelers. After the win, Tolbert did not sound like a player that is concerned about the injury and admitted the ball simply hit him in an area that is less than ideal. "It was a low ball, I thought I could get underneath it and ended up taking a one-hopper to the private S," Tolbert said in his October 7th press conference. "I couldn't breathe for a second, but once they called the timeout, I knew I had to go back in the game, my team needed me. That's the moments that I work hard for. I wasn't going to be out in that moment. So, no matter what, I was going on the field, and like I said, I knew the play call," Tolbert continued. "I knew the options that were available on the play call. Knew the coverage they would run. All I had to do is get through clean and make a play. And like I said, that's what big-time players do in big-time moments. When the ball comes your way, your team's counting on you to make plays." Cowboys reveal plan amid rumors of running back trade. The Dallas Cowboys' run game was a subject of much conjecture throughout the offseason, and through the first 4 weeks, it was exactly what most thought it would be: not very good. With Ezekiel Elliott, Rico Dowdle, and Deuce Vaughn as the top 3 backs, not even mentioning practice squatter Dalvin Cook either, that didn't exactly inspire confidence moving forward. But after Dowdle's 87 rushing yards from 20 attempts against the Pittsburgh Steelers, it appears that the run game finally has some life. And going by head coach Mike McCarthy's words, expect Dowdle to continue as the lead back against the Detroit Lions. "Our approach for the game this week will probably be similar to last week," McCarthy said. "It is now crystal clear that Dowdle is Dallas' starting running back, and if it wasn't set in stone after the Steelers game, a look at the numbers between him and Zeke, along with McCarthy's comments, might hammer it home. Also clear, while 3-2 Dallas now owns the mark of the second-worst rushing offense in the NFL through 5 weeks, 420 yards, and are also second to last at 3.5 yards per carry and tied for 31st in the league with only 2 rushing touchdowns, major changes simply are not planned. That hasn't stopped news outlets from reporting on a coming change. Oddly, a great deal of focus seems to be on starting rumors about plucking a running back off of the roster of the Carolina Panthers. Radio station 105.3 The Fan wants to see a trade for Chuba Hubbard. CBS Sports forecasts a deal for Miles Sanders. Sanders, CBS writes, would at least give Dak Prescott more proven run support. Sanders once earned Pro Bowl honors with the Eagles in 2022 when he posted 1,269 rushing yards and 11 rushing touchdowns. But at 27, is he better than Rico? Worth probably a 5th-round pick, as one outlet suggests. And who picks up the tab on that $7 million paycheck? And Hubbard. He is the starting running back in Carolina, but he's cheap, in the final year of a deal that pays him about $3.2 million this year. Is that worth a late-round rental? As Carolina eventually turns over the job to rehabbing prized rookie Jonathan Brooks, it might be viable to think the Panthers fire Sale Hubbard. But he makes 33% more than Dallas is paying Zeke, and 3 times what Dallas is paying Rico. Cowboys trade pitch would add projected $99 million playmaker. Maybe the Cowboys found themselves their number 2 wide receiver behind CeeDee Lamb last week against Pittsburgh, when Jalen Tolbert stepped up and caught the game-winning touchdown pass from quarterback Dak Prescott to seal a 20-17 win. Tolbert finished the night with 87 yards and a touchdown on 7 catches. It was the best game of his career, and the result of his hard work matched with the Cowboys' patience in his development. Tolbert has 247 receiving yards this year, nearly double the 280 yards he had in his career before this season. Still, the receiving core is thin once you get past Lamb and Tolbert, with Brandon Cooks dealing with a knee injury and a subsequent infection. Kavonte Turpin is the number 3 receiver, and the Cowboys could have to turn to rookie Ryan Flournoy if there is an injury. The Cowboys can't count on a return of Cooks to full strength this year, and if they're serious about remaining in contention, they'll clearly need to give Prescott more offensive weapons. With that in mind, the folks at Bleacher Report suggest the Cowboys are a potential trade landing spot for one of the better receivers who could hit the block in the coming weeks, and no, it's no Davante Adams. It's Bengals star T. Higgins. With Cincinnati having bungled its way to a 1-4 start, that is looking increasingly possible. Higgins is a free agent this offseason, and given his price tag $21 million this year, with an estimated market value of $99 million over 4 years, according to Spotrac, the Bengals can't afford to keep both him and WR1 Ja'Marr Chase. The Cowboys could benefit. A trade proposal of a third-rounder for Higgins might be enough to get the Bengals to cash out on him. Cincinnati could be back to .500 by the trade deadline, and if it is, Higgins won't be going anywhere. He looked fully healthy in Sunday's loss to the Baltimore Ravens and finished with 9 catches for 83 yards and 2 touchdowns. If the Bengals continue to blow games, however, Higgins would be a logical trade commodity because he's set to be a free agent in the spring, Christopher Knox wrote this week. Higgins is a high-end number 2 receiver who should draw a fair return, even in a market that could be flooded with receiver talent. Logical suitors include the Kansas City Chiefs, who recently placed Rashee Rice on injured reserve, and the Dallas Cowboys. What do you think? Leave your opinion in the comments and subscribe to the channel.